Hello. Hopefully we've got some people joining. I'm just going to check my phone and get myself on to see if it gets onto Dawn Bibby, Crafting with Dawn Bibby. Hi everybody. It is Saturday evening. I think it's the 28th of February today. And you very kindly joined me yesterday and we did those lovely cards. Oh, let me get them and you can have another look in case you didn't see them. Anybody might be joining us that wasn't there. Can't see us on the Crafting with Dawn Bibby yet, so I'll just refresh it and see if it starts up. I'm just going to talk away. There it is, it's on now. Lovely. I'll just pop it up and then I can see the chat as well. Lovely. So we've got Joanne. Hello, Joanne. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Margaret. Hello, Elaine. Elaine's my sister, so she's just joining us as well. Thank you for coming along. This is what we did yesterday, just while we wait for everybody to get on. Hopefully you can see. I've got to get myself in the right place. This is the one I did beforehand, and it's from Studio Light Spring Wings card making kit. So very easy, because everything is just there for you to pop out and stick in. So that was what we looked at, and then we made this one during the live, and I think I just added a bit of glitter to it afterwards, that's all. Just got that card and I just said it needed an inside, but I haven't done that yet. And hi Joanne, watching whilst cooking. Oh lovely, what are you having for your dinner? I had something this afternoon and then I wasn't hungry, so I haven't actually ended up eating anything for my tea. Oh, Nicola's watching as well. That's my niece. She's along at my sister's at the minute. So hello, Nicola. This is the card that we made. Sorry, just show you that one as well. And that was the picket fence set. And we chose the papers to put in the back. Added a few bits of flowers and butterflies. And then when everybody had gone, I don't think you can see very well in this light, but I put a bit of stickles on, just for a bit of glitter, cool mint, and a couple of little gems from the stash. Hi Julie, nice to see you. Hopefully we get a few people joining in this evening. So we did that yesterday. Oh Michelle, I know you're up from this way, aren't you? I think are you Darlington End or Durham End? My family's all up sort of Whitley Bay way. Thank you, Nicola, liking my butterflies. This is the kit here that we used. You want to have a little look in your stash, it's probably there. Hi Jackie, hi Lorraine, nice to see you. And we did the card making kit. So that was yesterday, and then I said I would come back on again tonight because I was fiddling around with all my little bits that were left over. So I've got lots of little bits here, show you. This is what we're going to make. Got the bag full of all the little bits that I had that I put to the side, and I thought, right, we'll just do a little bit of playing around. And I thought, oh, what can we do? Because I've also got a big stash of little mini envelopes, which I know some of you have bought. Hi Karen. Oh, Michelle, born in Newcastle. That's why you've got those links to the Stevensons, haven't you, which are the famous ones for the locomotives. Hi Karen Boland. Well, just if I stop and I seem to disappear off, it's just because I'm scrolling through to make sure I haven't missed any messages from people. Lovely. Right, smashing. So I've got these little envelopes and I thought, what can I do with these? They're brilliant size for ATCs if you want to make those, the artist trading cards, to pop them in there, or if you're just doing a little gift card. But then I thought, oh, well, I've got a whole pack full here. I'm going to have to think about something to do with them. And then because I also had a load of little bits left over, that's all from yesterday, all these little bits of things I popped out, I thought, oh, we should make something with them. And this is what I decided to do. So I've got a little bit of Dawn's ribbon just to wrap around it. Decorated the front. Now I've actually put a little bit more colour on this than I had from yesterday, because when I looked at the video I could see that you couldn't really see that, and I could. So I've gone a little bit heavy-handed on the colour today, just so you could see it a bit better. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Karen. Hi, Louise. Got everybody coming in now. Lovely, that's brilliant. So couldn't really see what had happened. I don't know if you can see, but when you put something on that linen cardstock, like a little bit of chalk or a little bit of colour, you really see the texture, and I love that. I thought it looked absolutely brilliant. So that linen cardstock, I love it. So I've done that. Hi, Sue Young. Nice to see you. Oh, I'll just make sure I get that a little bit higher up for you so it's not so far down, because if it goes under the comments you can't see very well. So I'll try and get a little bit higher up. So what we've made is a little book with these envelopes. So if you open up and open up again, you can see that I've prepared it ready for decorating. The pockets where the envelopes are, you can pop your little cards in or little tags in. So I've got one in there and one in there. We could decorate those later. This little pocket area here again, I've made with a little card to go in there. That could be a little tag. It's not really a tag, but it's just to show you. This one's a little bit, I haven't left a little space here to get them in and out very easily, so I thought I would probably put the card on a tag, so then you could just pull it in and out like that. And then I've put a couple of little homemade tags in there, which again we can decorate. Made some pockets, but you're using the natural pocket from the envelope as well to be able to pop them in. So I think we'll probably decorate those, so I'll just leave them out, put them over there. And that's it really, so quite straightforward, and I'm sure a lot of you have made these before. You can use any size of envelope. Let me just see if I missed anybody. I've got Louise Parr, Debbie Owen, hello. I've got Tracy Fielder. Have I got to the Tracy? Not sure. But say hello again if I've missed your name, and I'll say hello. Nice to see you all this evening. So anyway, this is what we're going to be playing with. Now, I will just confess something. When we're actually come to decorate it, we've got to be a bit careful. So when I came to decorate this was actually the front, but I was just merrily decorating this side before I realised what I'd done. So be careful that you've got all your pockets facing the right way. Fortunately, that's a side pocket, so that wasn't affected. Neither were these ones, but this one was actually the other way around, and so was that one. So these two had to be a little bit tweaked and recreated. Put some extra paper over the top here so that I could get my pockets the right way around. So just be careful. I think that's why this looks a bit fussy to me. I've put loads of bits on, and it was really just because I had to recreate that page after I'd made a bit of a mistake. So just be careful when you come to start decorating it. But hopefully that'll just be something nice for us to do this evening. And that'll finish off using the Spring Wings set. Hi, Jackie Jones, nice to see you. Yeah, I know I've seen this made a few times by different people, and using big envelopes, little envelopes. I've got a whole stash of envelopes my mum gave me that were just random, so they're quite useful just to use. But I thought, what will I do with these little ones I got from Dawn? And this just sprang to mind when I was left with lots of bits and pieces. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I did also eyeball quite a lot of this for measuring, including these little bits. And then when I tried to go and recreate it ready for you, I got confused and thought, oh, I can just eyeball it, but not everybody can. So I have tried to work out some instructions to kind of get that shape if you want it. Otherwise, it's easy just to put straightforward rectangles with a little cutout in, or your other little pockets. Don't feel like you've got to just do that. It's fine. There we go. Right, so that's what we're going to do. I love envelope crafts. Yeah, Lorraine, I think they're just a good idea, aren't they? Just to use up those. We always seem to have too many envelopes pottering around. So I'm just going to pop that over there for the minute. I always have more envelopes than I have cards left over. So it's a good thing to have a little play with. I'll just check if I missed anybody else. And it's just, you know, we've got loads of little bits of leftovers, haven't we? If you have a look at these, all of this yesterday, there was just bits of card and bits of embellishments, and I thought, right, we'll just have a go. Put a load in there. This little one that we got from Dawn, where she gave us a little pack of linen and rub-ons, loads of ribbons and things. I thought I'd also use that. So you can see in one of these, so we'll make a little embellishment. We can make another one. One of the little embellishments is just a piece of linen with a little bit of a rub-on top. So that's it. So we've got loads of little bits to play with. But let's get started, because I think everybody's here. We've said hello. Please ask questions as we go along, and I'll try to keep an eye on the feed and to answer all your questions. So let's start. What have we done? I've also tried a different surface underneath to the white one tonight, just using some of that craft sheet like Dawn had, and I think she did say she could get it in if people were interested. So you can always give her a message. There we go. See if you want one. Otherwise, just use whatever you've got, your glass mat. Right. So here we have, I'm just going to do 4 envelopes. So I'm going to open them out, and then we're going to stick them. So I'm going to stick that one to that one. So I want to be able to keep my pockets open there and there so that I can use them. So just need to be careful when you're sticking that you don't impinge it, so that it'll fold nicely as well. Don't overlap too far. And then this side we're going to do the same again. We'll just glue these together and then we'll stick them together. Right, lovely. That's it. So straightforward. The first task is gluing. I like a bit of gluing and sticking. I used to love the crafts at school with the kids because they just do nice things like gluing and sticking all the time and messing about. And I used to take some of my crafty goodies in to them as well and do like extra things that looked really fancy, but they would just be quite straightforward, but the kids would love it. There we go. So that's simple. Stuck down. I'm going to do the same on this side. Stick that on. What's everybody been up to today? So I've had my son Wes and his girlfriend, been ferrying them around a little bit, picked up his girlfriend and then took them along to the coast. There was a little vintage craft fair and clothes and records and all sorts, so they had a little trip out, got themselves something to eat and had a wander around the fair, and then they rang me up for the lift home again. So that was basically me today, apart from a little bit of housework stuff, which is not very exciting. Oh, Lorraine, it was your granddaughter's birthday, so hopefully you've had a nice little trip out to see your granddaughter or catch up over FaceTime or something. Tracy's been off to Sandown for the show. That's quite a far away from me, as you can probably tell by my accent. I'm a bit further up north. Hope that was fun, Tracy. You'll have to tell us what you enjoyed the most. It's Sarah Marchant's birthday today. I haven't seen Sarah join in, so she might be out and about having a meal. Julie Rankin, how long have I been crafting? Oh, do you know, probably years and years. So I'm 55 now. And I would think that I probably started crafting when I was little. My mum and my gran have always done crafting. And I was taught how to do crocheting and knitting. My mum used to make all sorts when I was little. She used to do stuffed toys and sell them, and she was always busy crafting, and she still is always busy crafting, and she knits and crochets 10 to the dozen. And I've just taken after them really for having an interest in it. Probably got into paper craft more when I was in my 20s, when I was away from home and I went to some night classes on paper craft. Did some silk painting and glass painting and paper making and card making and all that kind of thing. So I just got more into it from then. So I've been doing it for quite a while. My sister who's on is the master of mosaic crochet, if any of you do that. She just whizzes those blankets up quick as she can. She's really good at that. And she also does paper crafting. My mum does paper crafting and my sister-in-law does paper crafting. So we all just like to do a bit of crafting together when we get to meet up with each other. Dawn's on. Hello, Dawn. Yeah, you need a bit of a chill tonight. Hope that you've not had too busy a day today and you've managed to get some downtime. Tracy's been with her friends. So, yeah, hope everybody is okay. And Lorraine's chilling as well. Lovely. Right, so I'll start doing a bit more craft again. But I'm very happy to chat as well. Yeah, we're a very crafty family, Karen. Everybody, we just all love it. And then my brother doesn't do card making, but he's quite handy. And his boys are as well. They all sort of do, they can build things and do woodworky things and put motorbikes back together and all sorts. So, sorry, I forgot to say what I was doing there. So I just found it easier when I was doing this just to cut that flap off, because I'm going to stick it together with the other one. And I just want to put that one on there. So I just cut one of the flaps off and then we're going to go on there to stick it down. Well, Tracy, you might be the only one in your family that crafts, but you're in this online crafting community here. And we'll all keep each other company and we all talk crafts. So that's a good thing. My daughters have both learned how to crochet since they've been away to uni. They like to keep themselves busy with that. And my son has never done art before, but he's ended up doing an arty A level. He's doing graphics for A level and he's never ever done any art in his life really. So I think I'm giving him quite a bit of help with that. So there we go. So we've stuck all our little envelopes together now, as we can see. So we're ready for that little folding up our little book, but it's quite flimsy. You don't want to be doing anything really with this when it's like that, or it'll just come apart. So what I've done is I did do the measurements of the envelope, if anybody really wants to know the measurements. Here's my little bit of paper gone. There it is, sorry, I've got it up here. So for matting and layering, did I write my envelope down? Yeah, my envelopes, if I measured them, it was 2 7/8 of an inch wide and 4 1/8 that way. But all I would do probably is get you a bit of card. Hang on a second. These are the tiny pack of envelopes that Dawn had, yeah. You could just pop your piece of card here that you want, give it a little border. I normally just stick a little thumb mark on there. And then I would do the same. Can you see? Let me go up a bit. I would do another one there. Sorry about the shadows because it's night time. I've just got little bits of different lighting on in here. So it's maybe a little bit dark. I'll have to see if I can address that because I've not got the best of lights in my conservatory. And then I would just get my scoreboard, my cutting board. What do you call them? Paper trimmer. And there we go. That would be that. So in true Blue Peter style, I have pre-cut all these little panels. So I've got 4 panels, which are the sizes that we need for the cards. So you just take it down 1/8 of an inch. It's easier probably if you're just doing it yourself when you see. And then decide which order you want to put your things on. I'm going to put them on the back. So we're going to hide this bit that we've stuck together and we're going to give it a little bit of substance. And then on the other side, we're going to have all our pockets to decorate. So hopefully that'll make sense. Joanne Watkins has been doing her ATCs for the March challenge today, or the March swap, and a card for a lady who'll be 95 next weekend. Wow. Lots of bright colours and tactile. That's a good idea. Lovely. Oh, Dawn's saying we have got that pack in stock, so you get tons of them. That's, yeah, it was a couple of pounds of some kind. It wasn't very much, but there are loads and loads. So you've certainly got plenty to do with your ATCs and plenty for little gift cards and plenty for making these. A good way to get a template is to put some paper, envelope size inside the envelope and draw the opening and take it out. Right, let's have a little look at that then, because you're very clever. Let me just get that. I'm just going to cut it. I'm not going to measure. I'm not worried if it's a bit wonky. So I'm going to do what Lorraine has said for the inside. See what she means. She knows about these things. She's been crafting a long time and doing these lives for a long time. So put it inside. Let's hope that's right. Ta-da, that sounds good. And get a pen. Oh, a pen. Where have you gone? I've got a little white one in here somewhere. That'll do, because I don't know where else. I'll just use one of my little gel pens. So let's draw around that bit. I'm hoping this is what Lorraine meant. Is this correct, Lorraine? What a lovely way to send your ATCs to each other. It is. So pull that out. Now you can't see the lines because all I had was a little white pen to my side. So I'm going to just cut round that little bit, as Lorraine has suggested. And we'll see. That'll do. Ooh, very good. Ta-da, ta-da. Excellent. So that's a brilliant tip. Thank you, Lorraine. That's really good. So you don't have to be trying to faff about like I did. So there you go. That's a good tip. Thank you. We'll remember that one. I'll come to do those later. And we're just going to decide. I've already cut these to size. And I've popped all the ink around the outside as well on 3 of them. And then the 4th one I haven't. So lid on my glue again. So I'm just going to grab that ink I was using yesterday, stick a little bit on there, and then go around the outside with my ink. Yeah, that's a brilliant tip. Thank you, Lorraine. It's good to have you here, because there's bound to be things that people ask and I won't know the answers. And somebody in the group will, because I know you've all been with Dawn a long time, a lot longer than I have. Oh, and watch out for that. So I've put my mucky finger right in the middle. That's a Leonie Pujol trick, isn't it? She always does that. But I'm not going to worry, because I'm going to decorate it up later. So we'll just ignore that. There we go. So we've done our decoration on these, just around the edges, and then we're just going to stick them down. Took me some time, some faffing till I worked it out. Oh, well, that is brilliant. Thank you. Is that a toothbrush you're using, and no, it's just a blending brush. I think this was just a cheap pack that I managed to get hold of, but fortunately I have looked on Dawn's website for you, ready, and I can see that she has on the website 2 packs of large blending brushes from Spellbinders. I don't know if they're in stock, so it's probably better for you if you drop her a message and see if she's got any. Lots of places do them, but Dawn will probably be able to get something in if not. I quite like the brushes. Now I've gone and sat with that lid off for a while. Yeah, blending brush. And the Spellbinders do large blending brushes, so Dawn did have those on our website. You can use anything that you want. I know that Lorraine has some little daubers, and she goes around the edges with daubers. There's also those other kind of dauber ones that are on Dawn's website. This is an empty one, this kind of shape. And she's got some of these where you get a little pad to pop on the end. So she's got Spellbinders, mini blending tools with the little daubers to put on the end, with 14 pads and a tool. So have a little look, or give Dawn a shout and see what she's actually got in stock, because as we know, when she's doing her lives, we all buy everything and then she runs out of things. But give her a shout, because she might get them in. Carol Stott, hello, nice to see you. Welcome along. We're just doing a little bit of making a little envelope book. and having a chat. So I'm just gluing, still waiting on me getting my proper glue. I'm just going to stick it on there. There's one. Stamperia has some. Ah. And Dawn has Daubers. Dawn does have the Daubers. How much are you paying Angela for promoting your website? No, she's not paying me anything, but I just thought, you know, when I'm using something, I'll check and see if Dawn's had it in stock before, because if she has, she might have it in stock or she might be able to get it. So I thought it would be useful with things I was actually using, that if you didn't have it, you had the option to see if you could give Dawn a shout to get it in for you, because she's very good like that. No, we don't get paid, but I just like to help out. We all do. That's, you know, we're always loving Dawn's bargains and sales. So I'll just get that stuck on. I'm not being very careful because I'm just being quick. And I haven't really cut these exactly to size. I just eyeballed and chopped them. So hopefully they're going to be matching enough. I'll just get a load of glue on and hope that they'll stay put. There we go. Sorry about the shadow. Every time I put my glue down, I create a shadow, don't I? So I have to be careful for that. Hopefully I'm not banging this evening, because I noticed, please tell me if I am, when I had a quick look back, I kept knocking the metal arm that's holding my tablet up above, and it was making a really big clattering noise. So if you heard that, that's what it was. And I'm trying my best not to clatter today. I've got to remember not to bang the table or put my scissors down hard. But I have also wrapped up the springs and the mechanism. I've wrapped up with a little soft cloth. So I'm hoping that that might have helped a bit. But you'll have to let me know if I'm clattering. But there we go. So we've got the first part. Everything's stuck on and we're ready to go. And then you'll be able to decorate it how you want. So the inside, we've got that little pocket that we just made from Lorraine's idea. So I can stick that one on. Now I want this pocket here to stay usable. So I'm going to be careful where I put my glue. I'm probably going to glue this itself rather than the green card so that I stick it on. Sorry, I think that's just a wee bit wonky down there. I'm not that worried really. Sometimes I get like, oh dear, it's wonky. Better straighten that up. So I'm going to do that. So I can't remember what Dawn's got on tomorrow. What do we do on a Sunday? Is it sale night tomorrow? Oh, I remember. So Dawn has got some Katie Sue things I think she was going to go through, which she wanted to do the other night and didn't get a chance to do. So I think we've got those lovely Katie Sue dolls and decoupage coming. So again, I'm just going round with my ink and my little blending brush around the edges, and I'm using that lovely linen cardstock because I love it. And the colour that I'm using is Salvage Patina from the Distress Oxide, because that's really complements this really well. So I'm going to stick that on, and then that's created me another little pocket. Okay, might as well do that, seeing as we have it. I'm just going to go around this bit and then stick it on. Give myself a little edge. Yes, new cards from Katie Sue. It is Katie Sue, and it's it looks lovely. I've seen a couple of the reels from the lady from Katie Sue as well. Can't remember her name. And it looks nice. So I think we'll enjoy that. And then I don't know, Dawn might have some sale items as well. You never know. There we go. So that's a lovely pocket. Thank you very much for that idea, Lorraine. I've pre-prepared a few little bits here. So I've got a couple more little pockets that I made. When I made these ones, I kind of eyeballed it and just went round. And then because I thought I'm not going to be able to do that again, I made a little template on white card. So if I do it again, I can create the pocket. The only difference there is that's got the little flat edge, and I've just made that one curvy. So it's entirely up to you what you do. It's fine. If you want to make the pocket the complicated way, I did write the measurements down for that. What did I do? Actually, we could do that as well now. If I just, if I do it again, that's about the right size, isn't it there? But I'll just do it about there. Up there. And these linen cards have also got lines on. So if you just want to eyeball and cut, you can just do that. It's not a bother. And it's probably just wants a bit off the end as well. Yeah, these are those little tiny envelopes that we got. So pop that on there. Oh, I'll do it that way actually, because of the way that I've done my instructions, so you can see. And then all I did was I kind of folded it a little bit just to get my middle line there. Opened it back up so you can see where my middle is. And then I went in a bit, and I think I've written down 1 1/4 inches. So we could do that. 1 1/4 inches. So that's roughly there. Oh, put a little mark with me tool. That's it. And then I just roughly rounded things off a little bit, and I'm heading for that point I've just made in the middle there. You might not be able to see. I'm not especially going to use this one, so I can show you with a black pen so you can see it. So that's the midpoint there, and then I've done about 1 1/4 inches in that way, and then that's my top corner, that's my bottom corner, and I'm just going to do some trimming. So I'm going to go up there. Now you could do it just totally straight, or you can give yourself a little curl as you go around the corner. Up there. And then actually I decided I liked a little bit of a corner up there as well. And that's very rough, it's not anything fancy. And then I just stuck it on. So you could do that if you want. That was just, but honestly I think it's much easier the way Lorraine showed us. So that's great. But because I've already prepared some, I'm going to stick them down. I just want to see what else I've got. That might influence what I'm going to do, because we want some other little pockets really, don't we? So I've got another bit here we could stick on there just for something different. Or I could stick it on that one. And I've got another bit in the, got that little pocket there. Let me just find my little bits and bobs that I've already got ready. And then I could put that one on that side. Like that. That would be nice. So I just need to get my length again, roughly. Got in the shadow again. And I am just snipping today without much bother using machines. But if you're doing it with less speed, you can use your paper trimmer. And I did check those out. Look, Dawn had some paper trimmers that she showed us the other week as well, didn't she? So we could pop this one on here, overlay that one as well to give us another pocket. I think I'd like to go there though, a bit further back. So I'm just going to chop this bit off. Now I am winging it a little bit more. I know what I'm doing, but I'm just going with the flow today and doing it a little bit more as I go along. Now, what I did with that one, let me just check. I did one of these inside, didn't I? Oh, there. I just did like a little, another little nick, and that looked quite nice. So we could do that. So again, I'm just going to try and find my middle, roughly. I'll just do that. There we go. And then all I did with that was snip. And you can choose how far you snip. Now, some of you may also have, which I think Lorraine's got a nice little tool, I've only got corner rounders. I haven't got one, and I need one because Lorraine's got it and it looked good. I think it was Lorraine. It takes a notch out for you as well. Have I seen you using that, Lorraine? So you can just take a notch out, or if you've got a circular punch, you just put it on the edge and you take a little circle notch out. And I don't have those, which I feel as if I should have them. So I might need to see if anybody's got those, where I can get them from, because a little circular punch, it just quickly does you that nice little notch so you can get your cards in and out easily. I'm sure that makes sense. To get my little notch accurate, then I would measure, kind of do the same there and the same there, so my little triangle looked nice. But I'm not measuring tonight. I'm being a rebel. I'm not worrying about it because it's just for fun, isn't it? So I'm not going to. There we go. Who is Frank? Oh, Frank. I'm thinking, who's Frank? I do know who Frank is. Sorry, Dawn. Sorry, Frank. I think I'm just confused there because I was thinking, oh, it's Lily Lou who would be snoring, because my little Albie will be snoring through there. He's with his big sister. Dawn's watching Saltmarsh on Netflix. Ooh, I haven't seen that one yet. Let me have a little look. Linen card is lovely with embossing folders. It certainly is, and I have even done a little bit of that to show you later. I was embossing it today and I thought, oh, this is gorgeous. And I'll even pop it and show you. So there we go. I've just done a little nick, and they might not be exactly the same, but that's fine. I have neglected to put my colour on the bottom, so seeing as I've still got some on my mat, I'll just give it a rough go over, because I just like to do that on the edges, and then we can stick one on here. Okay, that's another one done, and then we can get down to the nice bits of decorating. What are we watching at the minute? Oh, little Albie is just getting old now, so he does kind of sit quietly and not do a lot, bless him. This one, again, I'm not going to leave a pocket there between the envelope and the yellow. I'm going to stick it on, but remembering to leave that pocket. Okay, so I'm just going to check where it is, and I'll just go there. There we go. So hopefully I'm not getting in a muddle. He's just getting old as my puppy dog. Not really a puppy anymore, but he's 13 and he has a bit of a heart problem, so he does snore a bit with that, and he coughs and chokes every so often, bless him. But he's good. He will be asleep. He does actually not do much but sleep at the minute. You know, I'm trying to get a bit more on there, but it would be easier if I just opened the ink up and did it. What have I been watching lately? Oh, well, the kids are home because it's been half term. So usually when they're about and it's half term, I just watch what they're watching, sit with them, and then I get my phone and go on and watch people craft instead in the background while they're watching their programmes. There we go. So we've got another one on, and let's see what other. I've got a nice blue one here, so I might go for a blue one on that side. I'll just see what else I've got. Blue there and blue there, so I've got a couple of blue ones. I feel like I want a different pocket, so I'm going to put that blue one on there, and that little one, that one. And then I would like a blue one, but I want a different shape. So let me see if I've got any leftover bits from the other night. Or I will just pull a bit out of the linen card pad, because I don't mind. I like the colours you've used. Oh, I love these. So the linen cardstock that I've got went perfectly with that spring wings collection. So I've got Dawn's baby blue. And I'll get the others out so you can have a little look. Just at the side of me here. light green. And these, I love them. And we've all been getting this, haven't we? And then this one's light yellow. So they're a really lovely spring colour. And they're the ones that I thought went really well with the Spring Wings collection that I was doing yesterday. So this is where we're at, using up little bits from that. I'm just going to grab a bit again. And we'll do another little flap on here. Another little pocket. So I'm going to go for a rectangle shape this time. I'm just going to eyeball it again. I'm not going to measure. Sorry. I hope that's not a problem for anybody. It's just easier than me faffing about trying to get me paper cutter out all the time. It is gorgeous card, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And I love the texture on it. Really picks up with the inks and really picks up. I've got these, one of Dawn's little bargain boxes. And those little chalks, they are lovely. And that's what I used on the front of the card that I made there. I went over it quite heavy for you so you could see it, but it's really picked up the texture and it just looks gorgeous. So yeah, the card is fabulous to use. It die cuts well, it embosses brilliantly. You know, we were talking about that before, so I will show you the embossing that I did as well. I'm just going to quickly run around that edge. If I go too slowly, just tell me to speed up. If I go too fast, please tell me to slow down. I'm just learning and I don't want to go too slow or too fast. And by the end of the day, I'm also a bit more tired, as we all probably are. So a bit less, like my brain is not as fast as it is in the daytime. So I will forget what I'm doing and I forget what I'm saying. So just bear that in mind as well. So again, I'm just going to stick it on to the envelope and I'm going to put it straight onto here, the glue, so that I keep my pocket open. I'll just give a little bit there because I know I'm not putting a lot of glue on because I know it'll be fine. There we go. So we can just pop another little pocket there. So I can still get underneath, but I could then also pop something else on top here, and then we could have another little pocket going down there. Have a blue one, or we could go for there's a bit of a leftover bit. I could always cut a corner pocket down that way. Just cut a little bit off there. And we could have a corner pocket going over. You could do it in a different colour again. So lots of options. I think I might do this little yellow pocket on top of the blue because I think that would be nice. So I just need to trim it a little bit because it's a little bit different size. That one actually I've already got ready, but I think it's slightly smaller because I am eyeballing it. Some of these were done for, you know, when I was being organised and measuring everything. So let's just go up there. Put that down a bit so it'll go on to the pocket there. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to get my little corner rounder and just give it a little snip up there. It's not, that's it. So I'm going to put that little pocket on. You can just do whatever you want with your pockets. Have a little play. I'm sure you've all made lots of little albums and pockets. I know Lorraine does lots of little albums and pockets and things will be included in that. So just have a play and enjoy. Do what you want. But I think it's just nice to have all these little pockets ready to go. And then we'll just stick this one on as well. And that's basically it. Oh, I forgot I'm going to do it on this because otherwise I'll end up gluing it on somewhere I don't want it to be. Yeah, that's it. So just pop that one on. There we go. So I've made some pockets on the inside. Let me get the glue out the way so there's no shadow, and I'll bring it up a little bit so you can see instead of it being where the words are. There you go. So we've covered the back with plain card over the whole area, and we've put pockets on the inside, and then you can fold it and go. If you want to carry on and just concertina that card even more, you would just keep going with your envelopes until you had as many little concertinas as you wanted. So at the start, before you start decorating it, you can just add in more envelopes as you want. Yeah, so that's it really. That's as simple as it is. Another way that you might, before you stick these on, the other thing that you might want to do, so you can see that on my sample, oh, I'm not very good at singing, but love to pick a pocket or two. Well, love a pocket or two. We do love pockets. On the sample here, all I've done is use one of Dawn's lovely ribbons and tied it round. But if you wanted to hide the ribbon in, you would just need to make sure that before you stuck this on, that you had your ribbon tucked inside and have a little bit hanging out, and do the same on this one, tuck it underneath and have it hanging out, and then you'll be able to just tie them together when you open them up. The other way to do it, if you don't use a ribbon, you could also do a belly band, which I know Lorraine was doing that with one of hers the other day, I do believe. So I don't know if that's going to be big enough. Yeah, I could just make a belly band out of that quite easily. And the belly band will just go around. But that's all, you know, your choice really, what you would like to do to wrap it up together. So we could stick that round, and then your belly band just come on and off like that once I've stuck it. Yep, so that's basically the nuts and bolts of the little book. Yep, so lovely little mini book, and you could make plenty of these as little gifts. You can put gift cards inside, you could put ATCs inside. I just do these really just for fun, so it might end up going to somebody in the group or to somebody in the family. I did do a one actually for my brother for his 60th birthday. I did a little folding book which was about this size, and I put some pictures, some photographs in, so he could just stand it up on his desk with the pictures showing if he wanted to display whoever he felt like displaying. So there wasn't a load of pockets on that one, but there was loads of pictures that I used and decorated it. So that's another nice idea for a special little card gift, that you make a little mini book and you put special photographs in. So there we go. So that's basically what I set out to show you to make today. I hope that's been useful and helped somebody who maybe hasn't come across it before. I know it's been around for a long time, and lots of you will know how to do that already, but it's nice that not everybody has seen it. So let me just check the comments. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I was going to sing Oliver Twist, but then I wasn't sure. Yeah, don't think I've missed any comments. That's fine. So what we can do now is a bit more decoration. And that's really personal preference, isn't it? You can decide what you want to do. So on this one, I have just torn a bit of paper off. Let's have a little look. So just get a bit of paper. That's some of the card I used yesterday. Just torn it a little bit, actually. I just want to go that way, so I get the white. So if I just tear it, and you could put that on as a little bit of decoration, inked up, and then one of the lovely embellishments that we had in the kit from yesterday. You could pop a little book on. So I thought we could just do a little bit of decorating, if that was all right with everybody. Would do a little bit of decorating with all these little bits that are now strewn across my desk. Thank you, Yvonne, that's very kind. Yeah, I did enjoy making it. It was a nice little card to do. It was a lovely little set. So some of the things I thought, oh, we'll decorate this today. I have got a couple of the ATC size cards cut out ready. So maybe we could do those. See if we can find something to put on there. And then you can decorate the outside as you want as you're going along. But we'll start with, oh, there's a nice bit. So that was the pockets I did on this one. I've got a little pocket at the bottom. I'll just show you with the card. You can get things in and out of there. Got a little pocket there as well. And I have got little mini tags. So I made a couple of little tags which we can decorate. And you can see there some of that lovely ribbon. So that was, again, this little pack from Dawn. I think a few people got this, where there was a few little bits and pieces in. It's got some lovely ribbon in, and I've used that ribbon there. So if Dawn has little oddments like this, I highly recommend them, because then when you're trying to make something and you're not sure what to do, you just get that out and you've got loads of little bits. Really lovely, Angela. Off to catch up on Corrie now. Oh, enjoy. Have a good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us for a bit, Dawn. That's lovely to see you. And you go and have a rest. You need to have your night off. So go and enjoy your Corrie catch up and a nice cup of hot chocolate. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Okay, that's lovely. There. Please, yes, do some decorating. Yeah, that's what I was wanting to do tonight, because I just thought, oh, we'll do some decorating. See what would be up to. And if you've got any ideas of what you'd like to put on it, you can sort of shout up. I'll do one of them on the back again as on here, because that might be a nice one to do, as I've got this lovely little bit of linen that I did, and a little bit of a rub-on on it, and that could go on the back, or it could go on one of the ATCs, anything we like. So I'll show you that, just so you know how I did that. So this was the little pack that came from Dawn. So there was some lovely linen and some cute little rub-ons. And we've all got tons of rub-ons from Samperia, probably in our stash, because lots of those rub-ons they have in theirs as well. So you could do that. Probably be able to get a little bit of this. We've got a little shop called Boys, and it just has all the little knickknacks of material and all sorts in. So we can choose the size that we want our piece of material and cut it up here. There we go. And then I like to make a bit of a mess. So the edges look nice if you just feather them up. There, you can see, rather than having that cut. So take a few bits of the strings away from the edges. You just pull out. There we go. Oh, here's Sam joining us. Hello, Sam. We've got a little crowd watching tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining, keeping me company and supporting me as I'm doing my first little lives. I'm really enjoying myself. And I hope, you know, you're enjoying it as well. There we go. I'll just do a little bit of distressing and feathering. It looks as if it wants a little bit of a trim there now as well, though. I made that a little bit too long. I know, a wee bit fussy I am. And maybe a bit more off the bottom, just to make it look nice. There we go. So we've just distressed that edge a little bit there. And then we've got some little rub-ons. What do we fancy out of these little rub-ons? Should we do that little flourish there? Or do we fancy iris? Oh, we could have we could have that purple one there with a little bit of a number somewhere. Those two little oh, I like those. I think that's it. Maybe a little forget-me-not or two. They look cute. So I think I'm going to put those. I'm going to put them a bit further down the bottom corner, like that. Right. So it comes on a sheet. I'm sure you've all seen rub-ons before. Comes on a little sheet. I think what I'm going to do to make it a bit easier for me, so I don't make a mess, I'm just going to cut out the one that I've chosen, roughly around there. That's it. Put that to one side now. There we go. And then I'll take the back off, which is the little clear bit, and I'll pop this onto here. Decide where I'm going to pop it. It's a bit difficult because I like to be over the top, so I'm having to learn to kind of craft from an angle, and things might not go exactly where I want them. I think I'll just pop them there. I'm sure it doesn't matter, it's fine. I'm going to get my little bone folder, or you've got lolly sticks. Sometimes people use a lolly stick, and I'm then just going to give it a little rub over and hope for the best. I think that's sticking. There we go. And the Stamperia rub-ons are fabulous. This was just like a little, when Dawn's going through all her stash just to try to clear things away. These were just some little ones that she had, that she made into a little kit. But your Stamperia ones you could use no bother at all, and they are really, really good quality ones. Let's just hope that this one's going to stick. So when I'm lifting it up, I'm being careful to watch that I've actually stuck it down before I take it all off. So if you can see, I'll just lift it, creep it up very carefully, because they're such tiny little flowers that if I go fast I could pull them off, and if I haven't rubbed part of it, it will just come away. So I'm going as slow as I can, just so I can see that nobody's been left behind. I don't know if that little leaf there is left behind, so I'm going to give it another little rub. That little leaf's also left behind. Let's give that a little rub. So it's worth just taking your time on this bit. Yeah, Stamperias are absolutely great. They're rub-ons. I love them. And like you say, they're good on fabric. So this is just like a nice little bit of linen. They're good on all sorts, really. There we go. So that's onto that linen, and it just looks like it's all part of that now. Lovely. So that's, yeah, that's really cute. And I probably would want, like I've put on this one, a little bit of a tag. So I think I'm going to get a little tag and see if I can stick that on as well. As if it's like a little sample, you know. So I'll get that little tag and hope for the best for that as well. Let's take that off. Does everybody see all right? If you want to get rid of the comments at all to see things better, because I'm aware of the fact that my working area is under the comments, so I'll address that for next time. But you can just press a little arrow at the bottom left, and then you would be able to get rid of the comments for a bit. I'm so fussy about where I put things onto. You don't need to be. There we go. So I'll take that up a little bit just so you can see. I'm rubbing it on with your lolly stick, or your bone folder is good. And Dawn was selling us the bone folders recently as well, so I'm sure you've all got those. And there you go. So that's it. Lovely. So they're really nice little toppers to put on your ATCs, or to decorate something like this up. I think I'm just going to go with that one for the minute. That might go on one of my ATCs later. Actually, that's a better size for a tag, isn't it? Leave that there, and we will go with this one on here. But it needs a little bit of something. I'm not happy that it's just on this plane. I like to do a bit more fiddling. So let us have a little look, see what else I've brought along for the party today. We'll put them all in there so I don't lose them. Sorry, my nose is just running a minute. Let me just get a tissue. I did feel as if I was getting a little bit of a sore throat earlier on, and I thought, oh, is it just because I was talking last night? Or is it just because I'm coming down with something? So also, just before I carry on, I'm going to try and just... Oh yeah, I don't know what your shops would be called. We've got one called Boys, and it's just has everything in. Downstairs has all of the like household items. upstairs has haberdashery, and they've got everything, you know, wools and bits of material and all sorts, and then they usually have a little oddment box. So charity shops are a great call though. Just go around the charity shops. You often find like lovely little bits and pieces there. That's definitely worth looking for. A little bit of linen or a little bit of cotton, something nice and light like that. It's just lovely to work with in your crafting as well. And you know, maybe even do a bit of stitching if you've got your embroidery threads and your needles, and you've done any, you could just do a little running stitch around the edge, and that would make a nice little border. So, you know, it's nice to mix up your crafts a little bit. If you're somebody who does a bit of all sorts, like, you know, you can put little stitches in, and it just makes things a little bit more special. So have a go have a little look in the charity shops and see what you want. I've just tidied up a little bit there because I didn't like all the mess that was around me. There we go. And I want to put something on here, but I would like something in the background. That's what I was doing. So let's go for a stencil. So I've pulled out one that I've got from Dawn Beautiful Blooms. You can have, you know, you've got loads more Dawn stash than I have. I know you all have, because you've been getting things from her from years and years. Oh, you've got boys. So yeah, I think it goes down as far as like Lincolnshire, and then up a bit. So if you're in the north, you'll probably find a boys. Right, so I'm just going to do a little bit of stenciling on here just to get a little bit of something in the background so it's not quite so bare. So I've got this one, and it's got some nice little leafy shapes. So let's just go with that. Should we go for a different colour, because I've been using this all the time. This one, that's been on my table the whole time. Just put them out the way a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit higher so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I think, let me have a go with the bundled sage just a minute and see what that colour's like. And if I don't like it, I can go back over with the blue one, with the salvage patina. These little distress oxides, Dawn had them in a little while ago. I think she's got some new little inks coming that are from Studio Light. I'll just pop a little bit on the mat, and then I'll just pick it up and have a little look and see what we think. And I'm going to go heavier than I would normally go at home, you know, when I'm on my own. And if you want to be really careful, you get your sticky stuff and stick it down, because it's easy with these little ones for it to come away. That's lovely. That goes really nicely. So I'm going to do a bit of that round there. I probably only really need to focus on the edge, because that's what you'll see peeping out. So, and you can use whichever kind of tool you like to use. Tell you what, we'll have a little quick go with one of these and just see what that's like. That's like a little pouncy one that we got from Dawn in a little pack, didn't we? So let me have a little pounce. Actually, just pounce on there. Pounce, pounce, pounce. See what it's like. We might as well have a go. So you've got plenty of options with all the little different tools that you've got. That's a bit more subtle with the little pouncer, isn't it? Can you see that? I'm hoping you can on the camera. But if you just wanted a little bit heavier, just go over it again. I'll just get that brush again, because I know that's going to give me a bit of a darker one. So you can tape this down if you're worried about it moving. But, you know, really we don't need to be too precious about it, because we're going to cover some of it up anyway. So that's just taken that edge off, hasn't it? It's made it a little bit, look a little bit more special. This is the one that we've just made, so we could pop that on there. Have missed a little bit on there. That needs a bit more green in that corner, because I can't see it. Diddly-dee. 2 seconds while I work it out. Yeah, there it is. I'm just going to go a little bit heavier on that bit. And I'm not too worried about whether I get a doubly bit, because most of this is covered up. I'm just being extra fussy, wanting to get a little bit deeper. That's better. There you go, but that looks lovely. Pop that on there, and you just get that little bit coming out the edges. And again, I don't think I'm happy with that being a bit too pale. I think because I just pounced it before to show you could do pouncing. That side's a little bit paler. So I'm going to go a little bit heavier on there. Ta-da, that's better. And then we should be able to see when it goes on the back. There we go. Now, I'm probably going to put a bit of red liner on this because I'm trying to think what would be best to stick it down with. So where is the red liner? Let me just stand up because I will have to look a bit further forward. Don't want to bang my mirror, my tablet, because I know that red liner is normally tucked in down there. Oh my, it's going to play. Not going to play today, is it? My red liner is not there. It is. I found some. I just thought that would be a bit easier to stick it on with. Love the stenciled effect. Thank you, Elaine. I just think it sets it up. Oh, Carol, in Middlesbrough. I'm just in Gisborough, so we're not too far away. Yeah, edge of the North Yorkshire Moors. Right, I'm going to stick a bit of this on. I haven't practiced with this to see if it sticks down, actually, to be fair. But I'm just imagining that red liner is a good move. If anybody else has any suggestions who does a lot with linen or this kind of thing, let me know. Who's been rummaging in charity shops? Never seen a boys. I think it is just a bit northern, Lorraine. I'm sure you'll have something equivalent when you're further down the country. Never thought of doing that with rub-ons, Jackie. Oh yeah, have a little look. The rub-ons are lovely on material, just to make a little topper for a bit of a change. And I'm going to stick this on here. There we go. And a little bit round the edge. And that, I mean, you could just leave that like that. It looks lovely as it is with the stencil. That could be a decoration. You know, it doesn't have to be anything else stuck on top, does it? Lovely. And then I'm just going to get that ready and decide whether, do I need anything else or does that look okay? Oh, I do like more things. What have I got? What have I got that could give me a little bit more? Put a little bit of that in over the top and then stick that down. Does that just give me a little bit more summit? What do we think? That's just another little bit of ribbony stuff, which I'm imagining if I'm sticking it down over here, I would probably get away with it sticking on with that. Hopefully a red liner tape would stick it. What do we think? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm just going to put a little bit of like a dotty glue on the back of this because that is a bit awkward to stick on. Let me see, it would help if I actually use the glue correctly. Yeah, Gisborough's lovely. And then you're not that far from Whitby to have a little trip up. That's not really sticking. But I'm going to cover it over, so let me just do a bit. Yes, like it, Jackie, thank you. That just helps if somebody says it's looking all right. I'm just going to hold a little bit of glue on the back of my hand. I'm going to put it in that middle bit where I'm going to be sticking it down anyway. And hopefully just hold it there slightly whilst I get my bit ready here. Oh, pop, a bit coarse. Oh, there we go. Has anybody been doing any crafting today? I saw, I think it was one of the Julie Jones, was it, who was been doing some nice floral arrangements. See, when I get to this time of night, I can't remember my words. So yeah, floral arrangements we've got from Julie to have a look at on the page, I think. Anybody else been doing anything nice? At the minute, I'm just trying to get my red liner to pick up and not just rise. It's not sticking to the linen, which may be because it's very old or because it doesn't like the linen. Ah, there. That has got it. Sorry, I'm going to go quiet a minute because I'm just concentrating on there, getting my little red liner off, which is just causing me a little bit of a bother. It was not playing. It was not. If you can hear a little gentle snoring noise, Albie has now come and sat next to me. I've got a little bed down by my feet. And he's just having a little snore to himself. He's a very fluffy Welsh Terrier, looks like a teddy bear. Sam's doing some crafting tonight, Mother's Day cards. Hubby's away for the night. Oh, it's quite quiet here as well. Wes has gone out with his dad. They've gone out to go and see a concert up at Sunderland, I think. And Imogen's just quietly sitting through there watching the telly. She's on her little holidays over here from Germany. So I think I said yesterday. Oh, bless. Well, I just thought we might be able to hear him. Funny little fella. Oh, and Karen Boland's made a couple of Easter cards today. So I'm going to turn this sideways and just bring it a bit closer to me so I can see. And I'm going to hope that this will stick it down for me, because it's going to be awkward otherwise. And I'm at a funny angle, so I can't see if I'm going straight. I'm probably not. Crafting with Bev. Hello, Bev. No worries. Bev was on this morning. I was watching her doing a bit. It's a lovely card that she made with that Samperia family. So there we go. That's just a very simple one. Not very complicated. Let's have another little look. So I'm just going to put that down for a minute, and I'm going to bring out the ATC card. And let's have a look at some bits I've made today to show you. And we'll see if we can create something. So Julie, I think before, was saying about embossing it, this linen cardstock. So I did have a little go. That's just like a fur emboss pattern, which was a Spellbinders one, I think. That one. And this one, this is just a random one I've got from Dawn, and I don't even know who made it or who did it. But that's come out fab, hasn't it? I love it. And it looks great either way. But I think it embosses really well. I didn't wet it or anything because I thought, oh, maybe you've got to wet it. There's a little bit of mark in there. So maybe if I'd wet it, like sprayed it a little bit, it wouldn't have done that. But you can't really see that, and I think that looks lovely. Oh, there's our Sarah in as well. I didn't see you coming in, Sarah, so happy birthday to you. I hope you've had a lovely day and enjoyed your day. I think you said you were hoping to go for a meal somewhere, so I hope you've had a nice time. There we go. And Carol's going, so bye, Carol. Thank you for joining us. You can watch the rest on catch up. Honestly, I need a little clock in here because I've got no idea what time it is and how long we've been going for. I'm just sitting, playing and crafting. But there, so I've got those lovely embossed elements we could use. I've done a little bit of picking up some ink. Now, I didn't do this all in one go. The way to do this is you sometimes need to do it, let it dry and do another layer, let it dry, do another layer, and it just gives you a little bit more depth to what you're doing, and you can get the different colours on. Dawn was showing you how to do that the other night with the alcohol markers that she brought, and this is actually using alcohol markers to do those ones. So I'm looking forward to the alcohol markers coming and seeing what they are like with on the watercolour card. and I've just stuck a couple of Studio Light stamps over the top there. So I think they look lovely as well. So we could use some of these, but I'll maybe just do a little bit of messy for a minute, and we'll see. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of that salvage patina down, and I love the I think the bundle sage looks nice, so I'm just going to do that as well. Doesn't really matter where we put it. And then I'm going to get a little squirt. I'll have to adjust my phone. Love those colours. They are lovely, aren't they? They go together really well, these greens. So the distressed little mini ones, you get 4 different shades. So some of you might have got these when Dawn had them. I'm just going to give it a little squirt. Whoop, that was a big squirt. Goodness me. Sorry. I'm just putting my phone back again because I was using my water bottle to rest my phone on so I can see your comments. Put that back. So you can see how that's activated the ink straight away. Hopefully you can see that little bit of movement. I'm going to get a little bit of watercolour card, and the first one might be a little bit, yeah, I've got the little squares from the card. Oh, there you go. So just squish, squish, squish. Pick it up. See what happens. There we go. And that's quite a lot of the green. I will probably leave that to dry. Come back to it later and add another little layer. So put that to one side. I'll have another little look and see if I've got anything else left on. Just with my paper there. Nice. It's going all over the place. There we go. They're looking lovely. Get a little bit more on. Paint. I don't know what colour we'll get that sage again. That was nice. There we are. I'll use my other water bottle just because I'm using the Spellbinders one to prop my phone on. So I don't want to move it again. There we go. And we'll have another little pick up. So you can do this with your inks. I'm sure you all have done this before, but if you haven't, there you go. So that looks really good. And then you can do it with your alcohol markers that are all coming in the post. Everybody was ordering those the other day. So I don't like to waste anything. So I'm going to leave those 2 to dry for later on. And I'm just going to pick up the rest on some more card. Because I just don't like to waste them. Just scrape it around a little bit. It'll be fine. And then, although that just looks a little bit boring, what I'll do, what I'll do later is I'll let that dry, and then I'll come back, I'll put some more colours down, and I'll do some more picking up. So you can see then what you get then. You get the layers of colour. So you can see there I've done some sage layer and I've done some salvage patina, and I've sort of let them dry in between so that I've got the colours looking really nice. So I think we could use one of those for our tag as well. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. So there's this one. Oh, now talking about embossing folders, as we showed you just before, I have another one. So I popped that embossing folder through with some ink on the embossing folder. And that's just given a different effect again. And I could put some more colour over there, or some, oh, what do you call that stuff? You have to help me when it's this time of night because I do lose my words. That stuff that you just put your finger in and you dab it and you rub it over. And it's usually like a little bit of a, like a wax. Sorry, I've completely lost my brain. That waxy stuff. That's it, Julia was right. The waxy stuff. Yeah, so you can just put your little sheen on with a bit of wax and that would look really nice. And then you could chop that up and put it in your little cards. So that was a little bit of playing earlier on today. But let's have a little look at this. So I'm going to use one of these. This is my ATC. So an ATC, I will get this little cutter out for you this time. Gilding wax. Thank you, Sam. I do lose my words a bit, especially when I'm getting tired on an evening. So you'll probably find that on an evening I'm a bit less able to speak than I am during the day. So my ATC I've done there is 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches, which I think is the correct size. Tell me if I've done the wrong one, Sam. So I'm going to go down by a little bit. So 2.5. Instead of 2.5, I'm going to go down by 1/8 of an inch, just so I've got that there. Oh, sorry, didn't have it in. And this, I do need a new one because it eats the edges now. It's really not very good. So maybe going on Dawn Bibby's website and getting one. She's got very nice Spellbinders ones, but she's also got a nice cheapy Oakwood paper trimmer, which is £8.50 or something like that. So that might be a new purchase, because you can see I don't like this. My blades aren't very sharp. I need new blades, but that'll go lovely on there. Really nice. We need it to pop a little bit, so you can use your ink pad just to go around the edge again, or you could use your pencil like I showed you yesterday. I'll probably just go really quickly with a bit around the edge like that. And if you use your dauber, if you don't want to faff about with it doing this, but I'm just going to do that just so you can either matte and layer it with another colour, or if you want to just make it pop a little bit, you can put a little bit of ink around the edges like that. So then it just pops off the white a bit better. This does not dry very fast. So the other thing you do have to be careful with when you're doing that, instead of using your dauber, is you get the ink everywhere. So maybe you should do as Lorraine does and go around with your little dauber. Oh, our Sarah's had a Chinese for a birthday. That's lovely. Do you know, I haven't had anything because I wasn't hungry when it was tea time, because I'd had an afternoon snack. So I'm going to be hungry later on, aren't I? I'm doing a bit of a dawn, not eating. Normally I do. I hope that was a nice Chinese that you've had. So we've got another little bit there. What else could we decorate this with? We can use some of our little bits and pieces. Oh, we could. Do you know what I think I fancy here? Just to go along, I've cut some shapes out, and I think you probably saw these the other week with Lorraine. She had some of Dawn's little flower things, which has come from, it wasn't Provençal. I know that Sarah Marchant will know straight away without me even looking where it's come from. That one. So it is Provençal, the wildflower vase. So there's lots of nice little wildflowers in there that you can cut out. That one's also a good one. That's actually a Christmas one, but it's got a really nice fir and berry one that will go all year round. And then you've got these sort of lattices there, really good as well. And then some sentiments and things. I've done a little bit of cutting out with some of Dawn's dies, and you've all got loads of those, I know. And I thought we might just put a few of them on. I don't need all of these, but I'm just going to bring them out. And we'll have a little look and see what we fancy. Get them there. Now I think I quite fancy another little bit of summit on there. So let us have a go with this one. That's another studio like collage mask. So Dawn's brought these to us as well before. You can see this one I've used it with some paste, and then I haven't really cleaned it very well. So bad. And then I think that's quite nice as a little background. And it would actually look good in paste, but I'd have to leave it to dry. So I will just do it in the ink. Let me just pop a bit on my mat. I don't think you can see that because it's just off the mat slightly where I've put the ink, but I'm just going to go through this stencil. This one's probably a good idea to take down because it's very fine again, but I'm just going to go for it, and that will just give me a little bit of grass in the background. There we go. There. So you've got that. Hopefully you can see that. That looks nice. These are the little bits of feathery ones that I liked. They're quite cute. And little berry ones. And then Dawn's flowers. Let's have a look. This is a nice one. And these are nice to decorate. Oh, we could pop that one on there. Oh, we could pop. Actually, I think that one would be nice. And then just pop the flower on. Let me find a flower. Flower head. I think that's a poppy. Or a daisy, the way that is. Evening, everyone. Hello, Gillian. Happy birthday to Sarah. Sarah's had lovely Chinese. How many of Dawn Bibby collections have you got? Do you know, I haven't got a huge number of them. I've got a selection of some from the lives that she's been doing. So I probably only joined the lives recently, maybe in the last year or so. Oh, that'd be nice. Is that a poppy or is it a daisy? I think it might be a poppy. So I don't have all these large collection of dies that you all have. I've just had ones that I've picked up from Dawn's sales. In my garage, which has still got a lot of things in it from when I moved here, which is 4 years ago, so of course, you know, still got things to unpack. I have probably got some very old Dawn Bibby things from the Topaz Craft days and from our early television days, so I know I've got some of the flowers and the dies and sets from then somewhere. I think, Sarah, you know a lot about them because whenever there's a set that pops up, you always seem to know what they are. So I think you might have quite a large collection, but I've only got a little small amount. So I'm just using what I've got. So I think that would look quite nice on there. That would be one option. I am faffing. Ooh, I like that one. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. Right, let's give these a little bit of a colour. Again, I'm going to have to use my ink because I don't have the pens yet, because I would probably use those pens that are coming. And I'm just going to be really rough with this and stick a bit of ink on. Not be too precious about that for my little twigs. Of that one. Might put a bit of that pistachio on as well, just for a little bit of a different colour on the ends, if we can see it. Come on. Probably didn't need to because you can't really see that very much. There, and I'm not going to waste that because I have got some of that, some card here that I can go over the top with. Just use that one. Give it a quick splat. I have too many to count. I know you all have been with Dawn for so long that you have all of her collections, I'm sure. And I'm just building up a little collection from the lives that Dawn does. I'm just using the back of this one and then I can choose which one I want. So that's that. And then I'm just going to clean the rest off. I am going to need to find a colour that's suitable for a flower. Am I not? So I wonder whether I could use the chalk, because I've got some chalk here from Dawn. I don't have many of the inky colours out and ready. I'll have a little go on this, see what this is like. Oh, I'm just using my finger, where actually, of course, you could use a dauber or something. That's nice, I quite like that. I'll go for that paler one and we'll see what we like. My first love is Dawn Bibby Designs. Yes, I think I would say that Dawn's the one who's been here the longest for me and was one of the first ones that I watched and got and got products from. I'm going to put a little bit of that orange on there as well, just give it a little bit of a tinge and spread it out a bit. So I'm making a happy little mess with my fingers here, guys. I'm not being very careful with it. I just want a little bit of colour. And I'm just using what I've got here. So that might be quite nice. I know that it's a bit of a, it's not the right colour for my background, is it? No, we can't have that. I need to have the colours that are better to go with that. I might have to go for blue and pretend it's a cornflower. Some of the loveliest florage and foliage dies from Dawn was when she was with Craft Buddy. I haven't got the Lantern Connection, no. I've just got some little bits and pieces. I have those chalks somewhere. It's amazing what you forget you have. I know this was just on one of Dawn's lives where she popped on and she had a few little bits of chalks. Yeah, I'm going to go for blue. And we'll just say it's a little blue flower because I think seeing as I've got blue and green going on in this, it would be better with blue and green. And I am just going to be messy and use my fingers. That's nice and quick and I don't mind. I'm going to get some of that green and go onto the leaves. It's got a little bit of a sheen in this. You probably can't pick it up on the camera. It has got a little bit of a glitter in it. So it's quite nice just to give a little bit of a shine. There we go. So that's looking all right. We can pop this one on here. Pop a little flower on there. And you know, it doesn't have to be very fancy, does it? They can just be simple, but they look really effective. I feel as though that needs to pop a little bit as well. So let me just get rid of the chalk off my fingers. 2 seconds, because I've got my little raggy cloth and my little bit of water, so I can clean my fingers. Guess who appeared in tonight's episode of Casualty? She was in Only Fools and Horses. Oh, is she the one who played Raquel? But I don't know her name. I have not seen. Oh yeah, cotton wool ball works well. Good idea, Lorraine. Yeah, my fingers tend to be the things that get used. I don't mind getting a bit messy. But yes, anybody who doesn't like that, cotton wool balls. And I did actually try these little spongy daubers earlier on when I was popping a little bit of extra colour on here so that you could see it more because it was too pale on the camera. I did use that little dauber to have a go, so you can use that. I was just thinking that this looked a little bit like it needed something, so maybe if I pop it on and then I give it a shadow afterwards, because it looks nice where the shadow is coming from my lamp. I can see that it looks better with a little bit of a shadow, so I'm just going to stick that little flower on there. I don't know if I've got the right flower with the right part, and I'm just winging this tonight, going and, you know, I've cut a few things out and thought, oh, we'll just see what we make. If there's anything you want me to have a play with, let me know. But I'm just kind of going with the flow tonight with what I've got. So I'm going to stick that on there, and I'm then going to stick this down there. I still think it needs a little bit something. For me, I'll play with things and I'll leave them till the next day. If I'm not sure that it's going the way I want it to, I'll just say, oh, I'll come back to that later and I'll do it another day. So if something's not feeling right, don't think that you've got to finish it all in one go. It's fine. It's another female character, not Raquel. Oh, I don't think I know anymore. Let's just pop another little one down there. I've already coloured that one in before the live. I did do some prep today, honest. I haven't left all of it to do. Now I'm going to go for that one, I think. Is it all right to have? That's a bit big, actually. Should I have that one and the other one? Let's see. Shall we just go for a little daisy in there? I would probably do the same flower if I had another one, but I think I used it on the... Oh, what have I got here? Do I want a little circle behind to be a little bit different? What do I think about a little circle? Sarah Marchant was... Oh, do you know, I haven't watched any Casualty for years and years. And it's a long time since I've seen Only Fools and Horses. Who's appeared in tonight's episode of Casualty? I do not know. You could probably give us a little quiz night sometime, Sarah, because you've got a lot of knowledge about all sorts of things. And I'm still faffing, and I'm still wondering what flower I'm going to pop on. So let's just pick the flower up and stop faffing and go for it. I'm going to go back to my little pad of chalks a minute and go for another little bit of colour on here. This is a daisy, look. I don't think a daisy is blue, but we are going with a colour theme, so I am going to stick with that. And I made that one a little bit less blue than the other one, a bit more green. A little bit of gold. Oh, a little bit of gold. Gold and green goes nice. Let's put a little bit of gold on, and that should tone in a little bit as well with the background. So that's a little bit of a darker flower, but I think it still goes with the colours. Needs a little bit more brightening for me. Oh, who used to go out with Rodney? It was Cassandra, wasn't it? I don't remember the name of that actress either. Oh, thank you, Sam. I'm just really having a good play tonight. I had a few little bits all ready to go and thought we'll just have to see what we come up with. And I've ended up doing, I've gone off on a little tangent. So they look as if they'll go together nicely. So I'm going to pop that one on. Thank you. How long have I been on, Sam? I don't want to keep everybody. If you want me to stop, just say. If you want me to carry on, that's also fine. I'm not sure which way that flower goes. I'm going to go that way. I'm just going to pop it on there, and then that's going to go on there. I just don't know whether I'm going to use this little circle. This is cut out from one of Dawn's sets that I've acquired in the sales, and it's a one, I don't know what it's called because it was one that just came from demos. So Sarah, or all you lovely ladies who know, may have to help. There was a load of little circles, and it came with a big fox and a mouse. So I don't know what set that was. 8:40, Angela, it's entirely up to you. So I came on at 7. I'm all right to keep going because I don't want to stop when I haven't finished it. But please do feel free to go. You don't have to stay when you've got things to do, places to go, people to see. So please just do what you need to do. And I'm just going to have a little look. I don't think I've got a pale yellow. I've only really got this fossilised amber that's quite bright. Dawn did say I was allowed to use different inks because I said I wasn't sure what she had, and she said not to worry too much. She said if you want to get inks from her, give her a shout, and if anything that she can get in, she will. I'm just going to use the I've done it too far down so you can't see, guys. What have I done? I'm just going to use a paintbrush. I've put a little bit of my yellow ink down the right hand side here where you can't see, and I've squirted it with a bit of water because I just don't want it to be too heavy, and I just want to do a little bit of an experiment with a little bit of a like a little bit of a yellow in the background, but I just want it pale. So I'd rather use theirs a little bit darker. So that's far too dark. Goodness me. And I haven't come prepared, but I can do a little puddle of water. You still have 21 watching. Oh, that I can't actually see how many's watching on my screen. So I have no idea. I'm just relying on you carrying on talking to me. It just says I've got 4 watching on mine. So I have no idea. Right, so I don't like that I've done that edge there a bit too heavy. This is not watercolour paper, so I can't really play with it too much because you can see it's bubbling up already. I'm going to just see whether we can get away with it. So I don't know what card I've used, but I haven't used watercolour card to cut that out of, which was a bad move. So turn it over if I'm not happy with it. Put a little bit in there because I'm not happy with it. Let me see if I've got anything from Dawn in my stash, or if I've got any waxes anywhere to hand. Where do I keep my waxes? See, I didn't have this one ready to go, did I? So yeah, there might be a little wax in here. This is a really old wax. Goodness me. This one I've had, I don't know how many millions of years I've had this. I don't even know who it is. It says Creative Expressions. I'm not supposed to tell you if it's not Dawn's, but honestly, it's so old I can't even get the... How many years old is this? Probably as many years as I've been crafting. I've still got it. And then like a very pale one. I don't even know if it's going to work for me. Let's have a little look. Just check if that's dry. Let's see whether we can get anything out of it. I only picked that one because it was so pale. I thought it was going to go, but it is so old that it's actually probably gone the journey. I've got a little bit of this gilding wax in. Is this a goldy colour? Maybe we could put a little bit of gold on. I'm enjoying the live. Oh, thank you, Karen. And Carol's back. Oh, I'm sorry that your sister's in hospital, Carol. Carry on, Angela, says Sarah. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy to keep going. No problem. Just tell me when you want me to go. This is also ancient. And it's just a bit of gold. So I think I'm going to take most of it off my finger because, as usual, I've gone too heavy. I'm just going to go round and try to get like a little hint of like a little sunshine or something in the background. Just thought that would be nice, that little circle. And these are really easy to go too heavy on, so I'll probably not be happy with this either. Let's just keep going, keep going, keep going. Have faith, trust the process. There. Ooh. Now, because I've put it onto that watery one, it's gone a bit bobbly, so I'm going to get my other one in. Good job I did too. I am a little bit fussy, aren't I? Honestly. I like to have things just looking as if they're right, really. So, I'm sorry if you're having to watch it all again. I'm just going to go around. So this was just a little circle that was in this fox and mouse die set from Dawn, which did not have a label on. The one who used to be in Waterloo Road and Casualty as well. Oh, do you know? I've got no idea, Sarah. I used to watch it years ago, but I don't watch it now. I find I don't tend to watch much of the telly. Every so often I'll find a series and I'll binge watch it, or I'll get it all taped ready. But I do tend to just like give up my telly to Wes and let him watch what he wants because I'm not too fussed. I'm very happy to sit and watch my crafting. I'm just going to clean myself up a little bit because I am now covered in wax. That's not recommended. I should have probably put it on the table. Please don't do what I'm doing. But it'll be fine. And then I've got a little one. This is actually one of Albie's wipes. I don't tend to use baby wipes. I've got cloths and water. Prefer not to. This is one I have for Albie when I need to clean his little ears because I find it easier. So I've pinched that and I will leave it and use it when it's dry so it won't be wasted. Let's have a little look and see what we think of putting that a little bit of gold in the background. I can't really see. I'm going to hope I can see it on the screen because I'm not over the top of it and I can't really see what I'm doing very well at this angle. So let's have the little flowers coming out like that. And a little bit over there. And I'm going to pop it up there a little bit so I can see because I've got everybody's comments on. Do we think we need that circle or do we leave it out? What do we think? I think it needs to be a bit more yellow, but I don't have anything else that I can use to make it more yellow. I'm just going to buff it a little bit. Let's have a look. So Carol's sister's poorly in hospital. Oh, bless her. Well, let's hope they can look after her if she's in James Cook at Middlesbrough. Is that where she is, or is she somewhere else? That's where I used to work. I'm just going to have a little look and see. Yeah, I'm going to do that. What I do need to do now, I've got this gold on here. I'm going to need to pick it up somewhere else as well. So that is going to come out again. Now, because I'm going to do this like a little ATC tag and it's got to try and tuck through that little, in the little pocket, I'm going to keep it all flat. Leave the circle out. Okay. I'm going to go with that. What you say. Pop these two little fellas here. And just pop them like that. So is that better? Oh, she's in the Freeman. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good hospital as well. They'll definitely be looking after her there. Yeah, I'm going to go with Jackie and I'm just going to stick these down. After all that faffing. But that's what we do, isn't it? I always do this. And that's why often I don't get things actually finished on the day. Because I just like to come back to it when I've decided where things need to be. Get that out your way so you can see. I'm not really going to stick it properly. I'll probably end up with glue everywhere. But again, it's just to show you, isn't it? And I'm not giving it really to anybody. It's just going to sit in my stash, no doubt, in my little book. So I want to bring that one down a little bit and that one up a little bit and then stick that down on a little angle. Don't be too rough like me. Yep, that's looking all right. That's fine, Jackie. I will go with you because I couldn't decide. And it just gets it done, doesn't it, then? Sometimes you just need another pair of eyes to give you an idea. And actually, very simple. Oh, other way, it was like a moon, yeah. I probably was like wanting it to be more like a bit of goldenness, and I might have needed a different colour palette. So I've just cut those little legs off. Haven't stuck very much glue on there, so they're not sticking, but that's fine. Give them a little go. And actually, that's probably taken me ages because I've been faffing, but it looks quite good. Quite like that. Now, when I said before that I wanted to have a little bit of a shadow down, you could, if you want to, put a little shadow down the side. And I have used watercolour paper, so I could use a watercolour to do it with, if I have anything. Let's see if I've got my brush and a little bit of something darker. Sometimes I take pics of layouts and it helps me to decide. Yeah, I do that as well, Jackie. I often just take a few days to do things. And I'll just leave it to take a picture. Yeah. Well, you could do either. I just thought that, you know, it's a simple shape. Stick it behind. You know, I'll use it for another one, no problem. And I'll keep this just simple. That's fine. Because I have faffed about, haven't I? Let's see what colour that is. I'll put a little bit of a... I know I'm putting things on the page where you can't see, just down in the bottom corner. I'm just going to have a little look at... What's Elaine saying? She's very good at knowing things. What did you say? To put it behind? Oh, you've got a good eye, Elaine, as well, my sister. Sorry. I'll do another one like that. It's always good to faff. Oh, I am quite good at faffing. No, I don't want too much water on here. I'm just going to see whether we can see it or not. That colour's not dark enough. Just trying to see what I've got in my little stash of colours. Oh, I've got black. Black will definitely be dark enough. But I don't want it to be too dark. Less is more for me. Oh, well, I've ended up just with the two flowers. I didn't know you were still there because I'm rabbiting away, aren't I? Just going to test, that's going to be too dark. Let's go. Go down there first as a little practice run, so don't make a mess. And you know, I think from where you're at, you're not even going to see that on the camera. You won't even pick it up that there's a little shadow there. So I'm not going to do it. But you could put a little shadow in. And I think I'm just faffing. So there we go. We've got that one. Where can we put this? So we've put a little one on the back. We've made a little ATC. I'll probably let that dry. We can pop it in there. There we go. That's nice. I like that. Very nice. Let's do another little one. So we've got another little blue one that's the right size. And we'll do something a bit quicker this time. I've got this that was a little bit that I did with some ink already as well. Oh, Helen is there. Helen Burke, hello. I don't think I saw that you were in. Umbro wax is good for shadows. Learnt that off a Zoom class with Dawn. Oh, I shall have a look. Always were a chatterbox. Me? No, never, never. But I do sit and talk to myself a lot. So actually, if I'm sitting here doing these lives, I'm just talking away to you all. If you weren't here, I would probably still be talking away to myself. Elaine Clements is my big sister, my best big sister. So I'm just going to go a little bit quicker with this one because I think we should do something a little bit more. So we end up with a few more things done. And maybe we should use some of these little bits that we had from yesterday because they're so nice. Ooh, maybe do a bit of that. I quite like that little book. We could just have a little book over there. That looks nice. What do you think about that one? So these little embellishments from the kit make things come together quite quickly. So you can use the little side bit, or we could have a little strip of the blue. Let's go for that. I'm liking that. So let me just line it up. Get a little mark on there because I'm just going to snip it. Elaine is a crafter, yes, Sam. She does all the paper craft as well. She likes making her cards, so everybody gets. I make loads of cards and I make loads of crafty things, but I'm really bad at sending them, so they end up staying here. I've actually got my great niece, bless her. She had her 7th birthday this week, and I made her a really nice card, and it's still here. So I make cards and I don't send them very well. I am really bad. That's the mermaid tails that I made for her. So Elaine there, that's what I'm going to send down to you to give to our little bee. And I've missed her birthday, but I'm still going to send it. But that was really fun as well. I like doing that one. But my sister is really good because she actually does send the cards and give them to people. So she also does a lot of crochet. So my big sister is very good at mosaic crochet, if you've heard of that. And she does giant blankets and baby blankets. And she's absolutely brilliant with her crocheting. So, yeah, we're a crafty little bunch in our family. So that looks good. So all I have got there was a little bit of my paper that I had the other day. We used the bottom bit, and I've literally just torn down to get little bits off. I'm going to go that way because I want to get the white. So just check which way around you need to tear, because I quite like the white to show. And if you want to, you can ink that white edge, which is what I did do with the front one on here. Don't know if you can see that. So that was a little bit of torn paper from the embellishments, and I inked it down the side. This one I'm just going to go with the white because I quite like that white. Don't throw anything away because all these little bits will come in handy. And I think that would look really nice on there. Needs another little summit behind it. What do we have in here? but I would need to cut that out. We would need to cut that out. Let's have a little look. Any more little comments? Hello, everybody's saying hello to my big sister. Yeah, she's just absolutely well into the crochet at the minute. I've got so many blankets on the go, but it takes me a long time to do them. I'm just going to cut out a little bit of this because I think maybe I want to put a little bit behind and maybe I don't. But I don't want all of it. And I think I might like a little bit more fussy cut round so it gets rid of the background. So we'll just do a bit of fussy cutting while we're talking amongst ourselves. Has anybody got anything nice for Sunday? So I've got I'm divorced, so she's kind of my ex-mother-in-law, but she still comes to see the kids and does a lot for me. So she's popping along tomorrow because she wants some help with, she's going to have a little holiday for her birthday, and she's going to take the girls, the granddaughters, and she just wants a little wee bit of help with getting it all booked and done. So she's going to pop along tomorrow and we're going to have a little go with that, booking a holiday. So that's very nice. I'm not going, but my girls are going. Gran is going to take them. There's three granddaughters. Let's have a little look. What are you going to try? Oh, the mosaic crochet. Yeah, there's some nice little mini projects. You can make little books and not books. It's my words again. Little bags. I think I've got a little mini. I don't know if I've got my little mini one here that my man did me. Oh, I'll get that out next time. I'll show you because it looks really nice. You can make a little bag. Right, I'm just going to go with that because it's just a little bit something behind. The loose ends is the hard bit because yes, you have to, I think the border, Elaine will tell me if I'm right, but from what I've seen, it takes the border takes ages to do, and that's harder than the actual blanket is. So again, you can 3D all these elements. Normally when I do my ATCs, I love to just sort of stick everything up on pads, but because I'm putting them in these little pockets, I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep them flat because I think they'll go in the pockets a bit easier. But I do prefer to do things a bit of 3D. So these little embellishments in the pack are brilliant. And there you go. Just stick them on and away you go. And I probably, again, I like my edges to have a little bit of something on them, which I didn't do again with that. So I will. I've got loads of bits and pieces on my mat here. I'll just go around a little bit with that colour. Oh, Karen Mills on as well. Have I seen that you're there? I think Karen Boland I said hello to, but I'll say hello to Karen Mills as well. Hello, if I missed you. Just going to go around my edges a little bit. Probably should have done that beforehand, guys, but there you go, guys and gals. And get that round. There, so that's just taking that harsh bit off the edge. So that's another little one. So we're doing quite well. So I can pop that one in there. And I have got another little creation going on. Just watch the edges. Pop that into that one. Now these ones I had little tags to do. I'll finish it off another night if I want to, but I'm just going to keep going till you tell me to stop, or till I can't actually speak anymore because my words have gone. While I've got that ink on there, I shall use it up just off this table. I don't like to waste it. And we'll see what else I've got in my little stash to pop on. There we go. Oh, this one actually was a I think that was off of clothing, that one. It was a little tag that came with a top that I bought So keep all your little tags, draw around them like Lorraine said. She was drawing around her tag so that she could just keep making loads more. So I probably should have kept this one to do that with, but it's fine. I will have more. So just go around in my edges and we'll see what else I've got in my little stash of goodies. Got some nice colours here. Some like, oh, these ones that I did with the alcohol markers there. That's quite a pretty colour, isn't it? Quite like that one. So I'm going to get that. And I'm going to use the pencils because I might add more colours in that. I haven't done any craft for a bit, lost my mojo. Well, I like doing the little ATCs when I've lost my mojo. Even just making the backgrounds like this. That's a good thing to do when you've not got your mojo, because you just make a load of backgrounds and mess with your inks or your pens. And then you've got them. You can just then another time come back and think, right, I don't have much mojo going on, but I'll make a little project like a little tag or a little bookmark or your ATCs. I'm just going to pick one of the pens out of my little metallics that I was playing with yesterday. I'm just going to go down the side because I just thought another way to get an edge if you don't have all the inks as well. This, you could use your pens or your pencils and you just get a little bit of an edge on them. Then I'm not actually going to colour it on because I quite like that blue. Looks nice. And then I'll just go right close to it so I get rid of the colour. So you can do this with your alcohol markers down the side or your aqua marker just to get a bit of colour on, or your ink pad or your pencils. Or you can mat and layer. So this just saves me doing a lot of matting and layering because it just gives me that little edge, especially for these little projects. You don't want to be making too bulky. You can just use a little bit of an edge colour and then that provides your matting and layering. So that looks a lot better, I think. Yeah. So use your pencils and your pens that way as well. That's quite nice. I actually think that it looks nice to do it on the tag as well. So I'm going to go and get the dark green that's in this kit. This is emerald green. And I'm going to do the same around here. I do it onto a bit of card because I will not throw that away. I'll probably use it. Oh, use it for something else. So if you make a mistake like that, you just then go, oh, like that. There you go. No problem. Colour on there a little bit. And because these are metallic, I'm getting a little bit of a sheen on as well. So I think it looks quite nice. So as well as sort of inking and colouring in things, you can use them for edges. So I'm going quiet I think now because I'm getting more tired. But I'm still okay to go for a bit longer. I would like to just get these little bits finished. And then I'll go and get a nice cup of tea. My decaf tea at the minute of choice is a Yorkshire tea, bedtime tea it's called. And I like that. It's got vanilla in and it's really nice for night time. Yeah, colouring in is a nice thing to do. So you could stamp a few images out as well, that's a good idea, or get a little colouring book. Even doodling. So do you know, can you remember when we were just little at school? Can we get a black one? See if that's black. Yeah. Mindless or mindful. It's not called mindless, it's called mindful doodling. So doodle doodle. Get my colouring pencil. Colour my little spaces in. That's a nice thing to do when you've got no mojo and you just want to sit and do a little colouring. So that's another good thing to do when you're a little bit tired or you've lost your mojo. You can just do a little doodle and colour in. I think we used to do this at school all the time when I was young, but I'm sure everybody else has done the same. These pencils are just like lovely and soft to work with as well. They're really, really lovely. So there, and that's just a little doodle. But actually, if you wanted to, you could make that into an ATC or make it into a bookmark, or just keep a little words are going, a little journal book that you can pop things into. So I have a little journal that I will show you how to make another night, which is just for little bits of doodle like this, or if I get a new stamp, I just stamp a new stamp in and colour it out. So maybe that's a little thing you could do if you've lost your mojo. Just have a little play and a little colour. So I'll get carried away on this then, won't I, doing that? But that's just an idea for you. Maybe you could do that if you're not feeling like you want to do very much else. So that's what's going on there. What could we put onto here? I'm not going to go messing around with pastes this time. We'll do that another day. But I have got some little stamps, which might be nice to just pop on top, which I've got. Let's go. This is a random one again from Dawn. And you get the little sale bargains. But it's got some nice little bits on it. So I quite fancy that little flower. Can you see what I'm doing? I keep going down again. I've got to remember that you can't see if I'm down there. Get my little stamping block. Put my little stamp on. Check that it's going to fit in there, but it doesn't really matter because if it goes over the edges. Yeah, that looks good. We'll go for that. We'll have a little stamp on and see what we think. I'm just going to go for... Oh, do you think that colour would be nice? Blue. Let me just have a little practice run. So this is my little practice page. And I'm just going to get a little corner. I'm going to see what it looks like in a colour. And give it a little stamp. And then I shall doodle a lot, especially on the phone. Yeah, that's a really good thing. I think that's a good thing to do. What do you call that other thing? Zentangling. So that's the other one, which is basically just what we did with doodling. It's just you make it as a square and then you doodle inside and then you doodle inside the doodle. So I'm just going to do it in that blue and I'll just show you in, I'll put the black on top, it'll be all right. Show you in the black and then we'll make a decision. Oh, Dawn does have fabulous bargains as well. I get all my little bits that then I think, what am I going to do with that? But this is ideal. These little mini projects are ideal. So let's have a little look. So I think it's going to stand out more for the camera with that black. So I am going to actually go with the black. And most of you probably will have a black if you don't have any other colours. So I'm just going to tap my ink on, get some good coverage, see that I've covered everything. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. I'm not doing it with a stamping platform, which you can do if you are worried about your first time stamp and then you want to stamp it again. So you might just catch me. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. I don't normally stamp when I'm just like this far away from my work. So I'm just going to have to go with the flow and hope I get it in. Let's go for that. Right, wish me luck. Not got the patience for doodling, Julie. No, I just think sometimes if you've lost your mojo though, that's quite a nice thing to do. Doodle and colouring in. What do you do if you lost your mojo, Julie? Would you just make some like backgrounds and pieces ready for when you're doing your next projects, or what kind of thing do you do? Or are you lucky and you don't lose your mojo? Just making sure that I stamp that all right. There we go. Oh, that's a lovely little stamp, isn't it? Really cute. I do like it. And let me see what the word is. The words are not really what I want, but I'll see if I've got any other words I can stick on, because I did like that. It's a lovely little stamp. That was a good one to get from Dawn. Oh, and it's got some lovely, got a lovely one of the lady with the book. My daughter's like an avid reader, so I thought it would go brilliantly for her. Let's see if I've got anything which has got a word in it handy. I should have got a few little bits ready for putting words on, shouldn't I? Because I think that might just want a little sentiment on the top. Tell you what I'll do, I'll just leave it and I'll finish it later. Put the sentiment on another time. And I'm just going to put that there. How's that? Look through papers or MDF pieces and resin bits. So just have a little look through and see what you've got and think about things. Yeah. The other thing to do is just watch other people. So get on and watch Dawn on her lives when she's doing little demonstrations. Go on to YouTube and Facebook, see who's on. And it's just nice to watch people as well. And then sometimes you get a little bit of an idea about what you're going to do then. Get a little bit of inspiration. But I think sometimes it's, you know, it's just one of those things. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. You'll come back to it. There we go. Put plenty of glue on today. So I'm just going to put that little one on there. That's nice. Lovely. So have I got our little wee bit of ribbon from pop in? Got that green that we had before. Probably would be nice if it was a thin little bit of ribbon, but I shall just use what I've got to hand. Your mind is too busy, Karen. Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's trying to quieten your mind down low then, isn't it, if you are a bit busy. Yeah, that'll be all right. We'll do that. Just chop that off. Oops. Chop that off. Stick it up there. Oh, that's pretty. It's a lovely little stamp, isn't it? And that's just the background picking up ink. That was actually alcohol markers. So as soon as the alcohol markers come, we'll have a little play with them and see what we can do. There we go. Oh, my hole is quite small and my ribbon is quite thick, so I don't want to pull up very well. Doesn't want to come through. There we go. Didn't want to go through. So that's it. Little tag. Cut them off at whatever air length you want them to be. Just do little ones, I think, and then they're not too long because it's in that little book. There we go. So we've got another little tag, and that can just pop into any of the little pockets that you fancy. Could go into that one. Lovely. Don't have a big ribbon on if you've got it. You don't want it to go in there. That pocket's a bit small, so I think we might just tuck it into that one. So coming on nicely. So we've got two little ATCs in there, a tag. This is very bare, so this is where you could use all these little extra bits just to get a little bit of something on them. Yeah, I think that would be nice. We'll do that. And you can take your time. I'll probably start rushing a little bit. Let's have a look. Just don't want to miss any comments. Julie does fabulous mixed media projects, don't you? I've seen on the Facebook pages. Okay, Hoogie Rutter, yeah, she does. I think she goes on that crafting with all brands sometimes, doesn't she? And then Jill Humphrey. Is she called Jill Humphrey? You'll know that as well. Sarah, you'll know that lady. And Leonie, who used to work with Dawn in the shop when she had Topaz Crafts. So Leonie's always really good for just watching. She gets very excited about the products and does some really fantastic projects. So, and then of course you've got Lorraine and you've got Bev as well. I've been really enjoying. I don't want to get any more things that I haven't had before, so I'm not going to get any resin. Right, that's it. You all my witnesses. I will not get resin because I can't be doing more things that I haven't done before and having more stash. I have to use the stash up that I have got and not learn any more new projects. Right, so you were here and you heard me say it. Don't let me get into resin. Jackie Jones, I'll say good night to you all. Angela, I've really enjoyed watching this, but I need a loo break and a cuppa. Yeah, I think I'm probably thinking it's time for a cup of tea as well. But there you go. Have tried using, let's say goodbye to you as well, Jackie. Sorry. Have a good cup of tea and enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Have tried using oxides on card, blend them darker than normal, then use paste through stencil and the colour blends through to the paste. Oh, I haven't actually done that. One of the things I was thinking I would have a play with was these, you know, these little pearl accent that we got. These little paints. I've got some dark ones as well as light ones. And I thought I could just mix them up with a little bit of white grit or powder. I did want the one that was like a thicker consistency. The only one that Dawn had was the very fine powder, but could mix that up and make my own paste or get a thicker one. But yeah, I haven't tried that. I'll have to have a little look. Oxides on card, blend them darker than normal, then use paste through the stencil and the colour blends through to the paste. I shall give it a go. Yeah, crafting with all brands, Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Oh, well, I'm going to clash with her if she's on now, so I'm sorry about that. Sarah Keane, addicted to resin. Oh, I haven't seen Sarah on for a little while, but she often comes on about sort of 4 p.m-ish, doesn't she? But yeah, I don't know if it's connected to Hoogie Board. It's just a name I've seen. My craft room is not big enough to do resin as well. My house is not big enough for me to have any more things that I really don't need any more things. So I'm not going to do resin. I shall leave that to our lovely ladies who are very clever with resin. And Bev shows us her fantastic things that she makes. So I'm going to leave that for them. Right, I was just fiddling and faffing. Seeing what I had that I could stick on here just to make them look a bit less bare. There's all manner of things. Might go for some more of these and then it'll tie in with that one. Maybe too many to go on there. Could do something with that. And I've got that little bit of there. Turn off. Just buy off Bev, it's cheaper. Yeah, good idea. Oh, Kay's finished at 8, so maybe I'll have to just I'm sure she'll still have loads of viewers. She doesn't have to worry about me being on. What else have I got that I want to stick on there? I've got a little, have I got any more little strips? There's a little strip. That might be a nice little strip down there. Lovely. Yeah, I might just go for another little strip and then we'll have a little look at all of it and see what else, because I really think I'm getting a bit tired now. She was the one who designed the Hoogie scoreboard. Ah, right. There you go then. I didn't know. I don't have a Hoogie scoreboard. I do love, I've got into moulds. I have to say, I'm not doing resin, but we made that little end a bit wonky. What's going on here? Hang on a minute, I don't like that. I have not used the resin, but I have used the clay. So I did a few bits. I don't want to show you all of it because it's not any paper, anything from Dawn. Just go like that and then you can see. So I did that with some of the upside down. Yeah, I do like the clay. So I've just really started having a play with it. I've not done it a lot before, but just started having a little go with the moulds. So playing around with them. So that was something I've got handy that I could show you. But yeah, I know you do all those fancy things with them, Julie. Very, very talented. Right, let me see. I'll just put that there. Got that one in there. We've got those. So let's have a little look and see what we've made, because I think I'm just starting to get a bit tired and I'm just slowing down a little bit and I'm getting a little bit mixed up. So I think I might need to stop, if that's all right with everybody. I'm a little bit more lively probably during the day than I was in the evening. But let's just see what we've done. Take all these little bits out. Doesn't look like we've done an awful lot, you know, when you come to it. However, we've probably talked about a few different techniques. Let's get all these bits out the way and we can see all the little bits we've made. There we go. And we've got our little book there. And where's the other one? Oh, under here. So this is the one we started with. This is where we just made the bones of it. There you go. So we made the bones of that one ready to decorate. So I'll be a little busy bee decorating this up and seeing where everything's going to go. So I just feel as if I've stopped very abruptly, but I can just tell that I'm losing my words now and I can't remember what I'm doing. So I will say good night now and thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if there's anything you want to see, do let me know. I just love to fiddle and craft, so you know, give me a shout if there's anything you really want to look at. I'll do a little bit more of, you know, tomorrow I'll just be pottering around, so I'll maybe do a little bit more little bits, and then once I've actually done it all I'll pop it on. Thank you very much, Lynette, that's kind, very pretty. Thank you, Gillian, thank you, Elaine, thank you, Carol. Yeah, I'm just starting to get a little bit tired. Thanks, Sam, thanks, Debbie, thanks, Karen, thanks, Sarah, thank you, Karen Milne as well, Julie Rankin. I can't honestly see how many people we've still got on again, because my phone's just telling me there's 4 of you, and I can see there's more of you. Karen Cowan as well. All the Karens are in. Nice to see you. Linda Piper. Thank you very much for joining me. And I will have a little think about what to do for the next project. But if you've got any ideas, just drop it in the book. 19 still watching. Oh my goodness, that's only 2 gone. 3 gone? 19. 2021. 2. Can't even do maths at this time of night now. Okay, so yeah, I do think I need to stop, but I've really enjoyed it. And I'll do a mixture of daytime and evening, so hopefully anybody who's working when I do a daytime one can catch up on an evening one. So lovely. Thank you very much, everybody, and I hope to see you again. Thanks, guys and gals. Bye. I'm going to say good night. I'll see you tomorrow on Dawn's Live. I shall be there. Bye.